for coming with all the masses who are currently in this room to this talk. I want to talk about something in the future. So just imagine it's currently 2031 and we just reached 60% market share. Just let it flow in. Like just for us, yes. WordPress has now 60% market share. Congratulations to us all. It was a very good work together. Awesome, thank you. So, and young people are attending WordCamps. And young people, I mean, sorry for everybody in the room who thinks like I'm young. I mean like 19 to 23-year-olds. So really young person coming along. And some young people will attend WordCamps, but the majority of them are what I call drag-alongs. So they are by their family going like, hey, what do you like to do something on Saturday? I have an idea. There's this thing and you should come because it's awesome. And then they go there and go like, oh yeah, that's an interesting thing. But normally those kind of people will never touch WordPress with a stick right now. So, but they now attending. Congratulations, 2031, we made it. So the question is then, how did we do this? Like, congratulations work, but how did we do this? So basically, people then say like, I saw it on WordPress because WordPress is now a social media network. So people say like, I saw it on WordPress. And you should see this too. I sent you a link. You can join that because you simply use the WordPress app. Use the WordPress app. There's a free account. You can sign up, and then you can go like, awesome. Now I can share this with my loved ones. I can be active in that. So those people simply do this. So we reach like more users that will use it. And what changed in those years is the WordPress app, as you currently know it, will be different. It will look like current social media apps because it will add a consumption experience. So you can simply scroll an endless stream of content on your WordPress app. You can interact with other people. You can like things, you can retweet things, you can like whatever you want to do. This is now a possibility with that because it simply was added that the WordPress app is no longer something that where you publish content, it's also where you consume content. Then the question is, but how does someone make money with that? How can someone earn money with this solution? Because as we know, like social media world is not really, the end user does not really get that much of money from that. So the benefit of us doing that is that many more hosting companies have now clients because they have now end users in the infrastructure, hundreds and thousands of that and maybe millions that simply use this solution to reach other people in the open web. Because hosting companies add a social media hosting plan to the infrastructure. That means they have a hosting plan where several plugins are already activated by default because the users of those things will never access the WordPress backend. They don't know what a backend is. They never touch that. As you know from social media apps, there is no like really backend where you publish things and where you manage plugins and stuff. You just enable the settings, but that's the most people will do ever. So with this social media hosting plan, they have the possibility to have, like, for the perfect persona that they define there, the end users that simply want to become part of the open social media world, that they can simply be part of their hosting infrastructure, and with that earn money, and with that also bring those users a stream of content where they can add advertising to that. But currently, the companies don't know what, like probably don't know how to add advertising to social media streams. So, but this will change until 2031 because that's the one where those companies really have an extra revenue stream. And now imagine your content goes viral on a normal, let's say, $1 hosting, social media hosting plan. You want to have your hosting company like simply catch that and make sure that everything still works. So you can pay extra. You can add more things to that to simply make sure that you don't get like overrun by spam and all these things that are currently in the open web and where currently where currently social media companies cover this all for yourself, right? Because moderation and all of these things then are also part of the open web. And social hosting companies have an upselling. So everybody who steps into this world and simply use the WordPress app, if they want to do e-commerce or sale, we have a solution for them. Because for e-commerce, you can simply activate WooCommerce. For sale, there are plenty of solutions. So if a person that just has a social media profile decides to add more features to their website, if they want to have an extra website, that's still the same WordPress installation. They just add more features to that. So the point is now, how do we get from right now, 2024, to 2031? What do we need to do? So the first thing is, the mission of WordPress is democratize publishing, which is still a mission, but what WordPress is currently doing is democratizing business website. So we are not really helping social media audiences to reach an audience with the possibilities of WordPress, because we simply assume someone will take care of this, or you post something on WordPress and then you can share this to social media. But as we all know, those social media companies will try to keep you in the universe. So if you post something from your WordPress to LinkedIn, you will be punished if you link out, because LinkedIn will keep you all in this networks. So WordPress is currently just focusing on business websites. And how do we get there? By you joining that. The bad news is that we all need to start using that. So we all need to install plugins on our WordPress installation. You can also set up a new one. There are two plugins. One is called ActivityPub, done by Matthias Peffele. One is done Friends, done by Alex Kirk, who's there. And so when we would use them on a new installation, on our existing installation, we can start using this service, social media, and do this in the open web. And with that, lay the groundwork as we WordPress users to actively working together on this. And if you start using that right now, you might run into things that are not really looking how you think they should look like. That's why if you see something in one of those plugins, please feel free to add them to add issues there, or even pull requests, because we need to make these kinds of plugins, bring them to that level that we all would use them and even recommend them to our loved ones. But we as the WordPress community are the first one that needs to be using that. So you don't need to wait for someone else to solve this problem. You don't need to sit down and go like, yes, sure, good luck, have fun with that. We all need to work on that. We all need to use it, and also there's a possibility if you're still on the brink and going like, hey, I don't want to use the WordPress app right now because it's not really there yet. There's also the Enable Mastodon apps, also by Alex, where you could use your WordPress installation with the Mastodon apps. So you can post from the apps that you use, but using your WordPress for that. But the app that you use is simply the Mastodon app, not the WordPress app. And there's also the possibility to migrate your ActivityPub profile to WordPress. So if you currently have, for example, a Mastodon profile, you could move this to WordPress and actively be part of that to help us make the case for young people to explore this with WordPress, and also to enable this for other people to join to make the software better. And publish content. As Yomo yesterday said, we have a problem that there is not that much good, genuine content on the internet, and it's getting worse with that. So for us, the goal is to really actively publish content on the open web. We need to work on that, and we need to have more people publish that to the internet. And I really mean this. Everybody of us who's not really writing content because we're posting things on social media and stuff, we need to add the old content, like make a photo of your breakfast and post that. Not holding back your thoughts, like, but my essay that I wrote about, that's not ready yet. Think about adding a picture, writing something over that, post that. And I really mean this, we need to publish content. Because the problem with all of that is that we are waiting for someone else to solve it. And if we're not experiencing the software ourselves, not eating our own dog food, and not publishing, we will not move forward. We will simply wait and hope that something will happen, but we need to be the answer ourselves. There was an idea called island blogging. The goal was, as you can read, post at least one blog post a week. And if you don't do this, you would pay something, and the goal was for them at that time to simply push themselves to do something, to write content. This was 2011, it's no longer running. Because everybody was like, nah, someone will take care of that. But if we want WordPress to grow market share, if we really want to move in this direction and get more audience in, we need to actively post content on the interweb and don't hold back. All the 20, 30 blog posts you have written that are drafted, they can still stay. You can just tweet pictures, you can just put content out and really reach out to other people, and more importantly, interact. There's content on the open web, Mastodon, those WordPress sites, and we need to reply, we need to we need to really use this as a social media network, and it's all of us that needs to use that. That means you need to connect with people, really genuine people that you know, and have a relationship with them in the open web, and not wait for them to post something on LinkedIn. Really work on the open web, because we are currently thinking about building this in the open web. That means we are building this completely new social network, which is called WordPress. Yes, it will use all the other, it will use ActivityPub, you can share things with Mastodon, but the goal for us is to do this under the name of WordPress. Because that's the way how we grow the market share of WordPress, by simply enabling people with the software to be easy to join exactly this path forward. Also talk about this at meetups and WordCamps. So there is a few WordCamps coming along, there is events everywhere. What you just realized maybe is yes, I never heard this topic really in the WordPress scene. Yeah, that's a problem, right? Everybody waits for something to do something. The protocols are there, the plugins are there, solutions are there. What is just missing is people actually doing things. So you don't need to wait for someone with a magical wand, wave this, and WordPress market share goes up. We need to actually use the open web to communicate with each other. There's also podcasts and videos you can watch if you want to be inspired what is possible, what are the solutions there. So there is, for example, the Fediverse files. You can easily look them up, and then you can see interesting interviews along the software, along the solutions. And there is .social as a podcast. There are many more. You're really coming late to this topic, but welcome to join. There's topics about how we can really move the open web forward with social media. let's connect. Thank you. Questions?
I think Jono also said that all the dentists should focus on bringing more articles about whitening teeth, right, Jono?
Wonderful.
Yeah, we need more.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Questions? Yeah.
Great talk. Why did you talk about market share instead of open web as an ideal?
Yeah, because the open web idea is the indie web idea. And as you can look how people talk about the indie web, nobody talks about that. I'm coming from, that's why I have the vision for that, to simply move forward. And I tried many different angles to sell this thing. And as you just noticed, like the 60% really get people going, that sounds like something interesting. So I come from the product experience and not from technical terms like the open web, because people will not care about that. That's why I call the social media network WordPress and not the open web. Because people then will just get distracted and going like, yeah, but Instagram is also in the web. So it's the same thing. So that's why everybody who wants to join that, like, should simply talk about the WordPress social media network.
Well, if you're talking about people moving from one social platform to WordPress as a social platform, what's the reason why they should cross over? Because now I have to have hosting or social hosting, however you want to call it. I can do that on the existing socials. How do you think we should approach that then?
So for us, the goal is to be the better experience. So, and we're competing with TikTok and like with all the other things. So, and as you can remember, like TikTok came out of nowhere almost and simply took over because the experience was what the people were looking for. So the goal for us is, as democratizing publishing is our mission, is to have this solution ready for people. And we have like all the hosting companies and all the people, developers and all of that in the open web. And we simply can work together to make the best like solution for those people to really embrace the possibilities of the open web.
I'll go with that.
Maybe just a response to that. One reason could be, for example, also that you don't have to use an @mastodon.something domain. It would be like your handle would be the same as your blog with username at your blog. And it also makes sense if you think a bit bigger in the sense that right now on ActivityPub we know that there's Mastodon, but there's also Pixelfed, which is like Instagram based on ActivityPub. And there's Lenny, it's Reddit based on that. And you can technically use your Mastodon account to connect with those, but then you always have the @Mastodon there, while when you are on your own WordPress site, you have your own domain there and interact with others there.
Yeah, that's the beauty for us having those domains here. Because we can simply use that and then you have control over your domain name. Yes, Cindy?
Yeah, thanks for the talk. So I wanted to ask you about the representations of people and or companies in this vision of yours. Do you care if it's people or companies or both are welcome? What's your vision of that? Or does it matter, right?
As companies also have Instagram profiles, the same can be done with that because it's simply profiles. The URL probably simply disappear because you just have your handle, and your handle is your domain name. So like companies or individuals can join that, and they can use that to boost their visibility in the open web.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, in your vision, what content gets prioritized as this thing grows? Like social media have algorithms that decide that for you, but also in the way you think it. How does that look in your vision?
So basically it's the same as in social media, but with the possibility of the open web, you can determine what feed you are following and what algorithms are in there, because you can simply manage the feed, and your hosting company can manage your feed. Because like you need all these like data engineering of like what content you stayed on, what content did you like, what content did you interact with. This all then adds to the possibility of metrics for people to get them the right catered content, and with the possibility of the switchability in the open web, you can simply say like, I like this hosting company better because they have a more catered feed for that. So you have the possibility to all take this with you and like simply be able to have those metrics following you around and giving you the perfect consumption experience that you're looking for.
Yeah, or you could install a plugin that has the algorithm that you like the good news plugin. It will sort the good news to the top.
So there's also bad news plugin?
Yeah.
For the doom thinkers amongst us, maybe.
Then you can disable the plugin for any too much doom scrolling. It's in there. Disable the plugin.
I think the bad news plugin is called X.
Yeah, so my question is, so if this would work like installing a plugin and running your social network, right? If I understood correctly, this would be the idea. But every one of us would be able to run it on our own hosting. How would you be able to compete with the big ones that have actually resources to build the amount of computation power needed to grow this? If it grows out of hand and then everybody starts to compete on the social network, it's a complete disruption of like, so at one point you could dilute the whole idea of everybody has a social network. It's nobody has a social network because everything.
Yeah, but the beauty of that is that we are talking about the open web. So there is the activity protocol, and that is simply the way to connect it. So everybody can have their own domain, have their own stuff, but because they're all connected, you can follow each other, you can send stuff over, you can even, like for example, we currently talked about the activity plugin. There's also possibilities to connect to the app protocol of like of Blue Sky. So there's so many possibilities because everybody who is in the open web and is open to collaborate on open protocols can be part of that. So the benefit of that is we simply have the open web becomes a whole social media network.
More of a user question. As my family and friends already now don't understand what I do with WordPress, how do I convince them to download the WordPress social media app?
So the first step would be for us to be at that level of confidence with the app and with the experience that you use it like the whole time and that you can have these network effects with other people. So when you say it's the right time, you can have people experiment with that and get back with you with feedback, or like you can add that there to the GitHub. If the product reaches the stage where you're comfortable with that, feel free to invite them.
If your domain name is your handle, how are you going to integrate Wix, Squarespace, Shopify, all that sort of
Integrate what?
domains?
Wix
sites, Squarespace sites, all the
Yeah, we
domain
have a
names.
hosting solution that called WordPress. So if you want to integrate like CMS stuff with that, we have a solution for that.
They have to change.
And the last question.
I have a quick one too. Sorry.
So this entire thing will run on your own domain and hosting, if I get it correctly. Let's say I post 1,000 posts because I'm really happy with it. Upload lots of images, then my own hosting gets full basically. And let's assume website gets slower and slower as I post much into the social media part, because I see the social media part as an opportunity to promote products, for example, or post about it.
Mhm.
But having the entire thing in one environment, won't that be too heavy or?
Yeah, lucky you currently the social media companies do this for you. And did you ever guess how do you pay for that? So the goal would be, yes, it will be, if you add resources to things, you need to grow with that. So if you have a really good running social media business, congratulations, you might need to switch your hosting plan, but the goal is to have those things, those problems arise, because then people can find a solution to that to really boost those things.
So I'm using this today, and I mean, I've written the French plugin, and my WordPress site has 200,000 posts at the moment, and it's still fast.
So good hosting is the answer.
For most things.
So I currently have a Mastodon, Yoast.net thingy. So how do I actually do that migration? Is there a guide for that to migrate it to a WordPress with all those things?
So it really depends on where you are standing, but when people also will see this recording. So there is at the time of this recording, there is a feature, right? There's a possibility in the activity path protocol to do this, but you need to check the way to migrate this. There's also documentation out for that. But that's the point where we need to improve the people to have the possibility to use it.
I'm now trusting that you'll tell me when I can do this.
Yeah, I will. You get a ping from me.
Cool. So I can get you a gift.
Thank you.
Appreciation.
Thank you very much.
Round of applause for Robert.